We truly are in a new prime time for vampire movies. Hello everybody, I'm Jay Mere and welcome to my review of this 2025 vampire movie Sinners. In this this vampire film is written and directed by Ryan Coogler, a director who also made the two Black Panther movies. He also did a great movie, and now this year he gives us some horror entertainment, some vampire fun with Sinners. And for this movie he has a cast that includes with Michael B. Jordan, who actually is playing two roles in this film, but also Miles Keaton, Haley Steinfeld and Jack O'Connell are starring in this movie. And like I said, it's a vampire movie, and for the past few years we really have some great vampire movies. Like last year we had Abigail, which was a very fun movie. We also had Nosferatu, which is a bit of a darker movie, but also a very solid vampire movie. We also had The Last Voyage of the Demeter from 2 years ago. Big fan of that movie. So there are a lot of vampire movies, recent vampire movies. And now we have Sinners. So what is Sinners about? Sinners really focuses on the twin brothers, Smoke and Stack, which are both played, like I said, by Michael B. Jordan. And these two brothers, they had a gangster life in Chicago, I believe. I think it was Chicago, I don't know for sure anymore. But they decide to leave that life behind and they go back to their hometown, the place where they were born, the place that they left a few years ago. And that's on the countryside, and they are both very ambitious because they have a plan. They really want to open a club, a bar, basically in the middle of nowhere in this field, but they really think it's gonna work. And so they are preparing the big opening of their bar, but they get interrupted by some vampires. So that's the movie. And what I really like about Sinners is that this is a horror movie set in an historical time. It's set in the past, and I really like it when horror films are set in the past. We don't really have a lot of historical horror movies, which is a shame because I think the historical setting in a horror movie gives the horror film a little extra, and that's certainly the case with Sinners. At Sinners, I really like this movie. I really had a good time watching Sinners, but I do not really love it as much as I thought I would. I will talk about it a bit later. But Sinners, it takes its time. I don't mind that. Like, a big portion of this movie in the beginning is really about the characters, about these twins coming back to their town and basically organizing the whole opening event of their bar. And we see all kinds of things that they are dealing with. They are getting the musicians, they are doing the marketing of their bar, they are doing all kinds of stuff, and we see this, and that's what I mean. The film really takes its time to develop this, and I don't mind that. I don't mind that because first of all, we get to know the characters a lot better. By the time the horror kicks in, we basically know every of these characters, and that is really interesting because most horror movies, really these really cheap horror movies, they don't spend time to develop the characters, and they are basically two-dimensional characters there to die basically. But here we know them, we care for them. So when some of these characters die, it's actually sad, and that's a good thing that has been done in the first half of this movie. And also we get to learn the whole town, the historical setting, so that's also really good. But you really have to be patient if you really are in for the vampire stuff. Also, I really think Michael B. Jordan did a fantastic job playing both Smoke and Stack. Stack is more the comic relief of the movie, but I really like the character of Smoke. He is the ambitious guy. He is the guy who deals with everything. And also the main vampire character, Ramek, I really think he's a cool villain for this movie. Now, I have some issues with this movie. Like, the movie don't know really what it wants to be. Sometimes it's really horror film, sometimes it's a period piece, then it's an action movie. It's really a genre bending. I really like it, but it's a bit too much of the good. Let us say it's we are just hopping from the one thing to another thing, and sometimes it misses a bit of focus. Like when all the vampire stuff is done, at the end we get this action scene. I get why it's in the movie, but also it kind of feels out of place in my opinion. I don't know, I was a bit struggling with it, but I think it was a cool scene as well. And also I needed to get get used to the vampires, because this is a whole new kind of breed of vampires. This is not your typical blood-sucking creatures. The main thing I was a bit struggling at first was they are singing vampires, so there are a lot of singing sequences, but I will come back to that later. So I was a bit struggling with that, but all in all, they were actually fine vampires. But now about the singing, there is one scene in this movie that I really love, and there are still plenty of movies to come, but I actually consider, and I believe it will be, this might be my favorite scene of any movie of this year. I really love that scene. And that's at a certain point after the initial attack of the bar. The vampires are gathering around in the field, and Ramek starts singing. And he is singing The Rocky Road to Dublin. Now this is a song that I really love. And this version was epic. So he starts singing this song, and then all the vampires that he gathered are singing with him. They are dancing and all in the field with a fire, and I don't know. I saw this in the theater screen and I was just hypnotized by it. It was so wonderful to see, so I really love this scene. This is the big plus I can give this movie, that scene alone. So all in all, I had a good time watching Sinners. I definitely recommend this movie. I like the movie. I do not really love it as much as I thought I would, but definitely a solid vampire movie. So these were my thoughts on the movie Sinners. Please let me know what you think on this movie below in the comments. Would love to read that. And if you want to see more reviews of me in the future, be welcome to subscribe to my channel, and till the next time.